Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about how to develop a mobile based on React Native to connect to the server. And to do so, we need some additional softwares. And the first one that we need is Node.js, which should be the software that we use in order to create the server services. Firstly, please visit this website node.js.org and then download Node.js version which is compatible with your computer operating system. For example, you can select the stable version here and then click download and install it. And assume that the download and the installation is complete. You can check whether Node.js is linked to your path by just open like a PowerShell or command prompt and then type node/node-v, something like that one, and it will present the current installation of Node. For me, it is quite old for the version of the Node.js, but it will be okay too. Next, after the installation and the check is complete, everything is okay. Now you can create a folder in your drive. For example, here I am going to create the folder d/code/server, and then I'm going to put the server code inside here. So I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to open that folder, which should be codes and server something, and then create a simple file here which is like a app.js or server.js. Here I'm going to use app.js, and this one will be the file that we are going to put some web service here. Before doing something that like a coding, we are going to install more Node.js packages, which is very important for developing web server. So firstly, I recommend to use this command npm init to initialize the Node.js configuration for this folder, and by default you can press enter to accept the default values from this setting, blah blah and so on. You see, then press enter and continue until finally it completes everything, and the new file that you will observe will be the package.json file, and this one will contains all packages that you install in this folder. So the second thing that we need in order to create the web server is to install the package, some necessary package like the package called Express. Okay, so use this command to install Express.js package of the Node.js. Okay, now we have two main packages, and then we are expecting to add one more and final package for this time, which is Node Monitor or NodeMon. Okay, so we just npm install NodeMon. All installation here are local, based on local installation. It means that you can just use all of these packages inside this folder. Okay, so after everything is okay, everything is fine, now we are going to write the code. So we'll start with some simple Node.js and Express.js command. So firstly, we are going to create the constant call Express by importing the Express package that we have just installed, and next things we just create we can use a constant to create the Express object, and then we can create the service here. So before doing some coding of the web services, we can try to start the server. So we are going to firstly define the port that we need in order to run our server on. Here I'm going to test it on port 8080, and then we will use this command app.listen at this port with the returning function, and in this returning function we are putting some simple message, some log, in order to tell ourselves that this server is running well at this port. Ready at passport. So this is the shortest command in order to start our web server based on Node.js and Express.js. So after saving this one, just return to the terminal and then use the simple command like the to start the server, like this one, because we install Node 1 at the local directory here, so we needs to run the command npx in order to run Node 1 and then app.js. Okay, and wait a bit. If there is no problem, it will show a message, server is ready at this port. And in order to check whether the servers run well or not, you can actually call localhost with this port 8080 and then press enter. You see that it will show something like cannot get. Okay, congratulations, now we have finished the installation of the Node.js and Express.js work well. However, we don't have any get/service, which we are going to complete it later. So at this time, we will continue by adding some services to this web, and the first one will be like the what we call root service, the simple one in get format, in get status, HTTP status, which will be in this kind of config, in this kind of writing. It will be like the HTTP verb, the service name, and the returning function. Okay. And here we are going to return something to the user. We can use RES, which represent response, and then send some kind of message to the user. Welcome to my web server. So this is the basic of writing web service or web API services, and we are going to test this service by just only use a simple web browser, because this one is a get service, so you can use any web browser to test it. So come back to the web browser and then just refresh this page. Now you see that we get a message returning from our web server, welcome to my web server. And you can change the service to any name you want. For example, if I would like to modify this /service, or what we call root service, to the welcome, to change the name from just only / to /welcome. Then after saving this one, you see that Node Monitor will restart or refresh the server automatically. And if you come back to here, and if you would like to test that service, you must provide the service name too, like this one. So now you get the same result as previous. Okay, now after the server starts, we are moving to the mobile application part. So when we return to Visual Studio Code, I recommend to create a new window, which is the second instance of the Visual Studio Code. The first Visual Studio Code here will be for web servers, and for the second, or the new Visual Studio Code Windows here, will be for the mobile application. Okay, so we are trying to look forward to our existing mobile application. I think it will be React Native here for me, and then hello. Okay, so this is the old location for my mobile application, and then inside this project we are creating the new file. It could be some kind of like a server example.js here, and then to make sure that I do not forget to link to this file, I'm returning to index.js and then change the name here to server example. Okay, and save this index.js, and in this file we just use the shortcut from our plugin in order to create the basic structure of the React Native, and then save it and then try to run it to our emulator. Okay, one thing that I would like to tell you at the beginning is that for the testing in this tutorial, we're gonna have to test it on the emulator only, because we cannot use the real device to connect to the local host. So assuming that you have any emulator running now, which here I prefer using Mimu player. Okay, so firstly you can have to connect to this emulator by using the command like adb device first. And then there is no connecting device, you can have to connect it by using this command at this port. Okay, now we are connecting to the Mimu player here, and then we are testing our simple code by just only use the command React Native run Android, and then wait. So finally, if everything is going fine, you should get the meta window and the result like this one. And now we are trying to modify some code and then get the connection to the server. So our design will be very simple. We are creating a text here with another button to connect to the server. So to do that, I'm importing the button class from React Native, and then add a simple button here. Okay, and it could be like a connect to the server, and also I'm placing a simple message like a click to connect to server, like that. And then when we save this one and checking at our result, you see that it is updated, and I'm going to modify some style for this one, simply just like for the text here. Let me resize this terminal a little bit, and then we are going to create style for the maybe title be like a font size should be a little bit bigger with some margin around, like that. And you see the result. Sorry, I forgot to add the style here. Oh, my bad, style.title. Okay, we should get something like this one, and of course we can modify the alignment to the center to text align to this. And that is just only the simplest design for this application. And then what will happen is we are going to write the code to let the user click the connect button and then connect to the server, get the result back, and then replace this message with the message from the server. Before doing that, we are going to change this message, click to connect to the server, to be some state variable, to let it be changeable to be the new value from the server. So here we use the archons to generate the constructor structures and create a new variable. State variable could be some kind of response from the server, and it will be a simple text, which actually will be this text. So I cut it and paste it here, and then here we just change the static text to this .state .response. Of course, when we save this one, you get the same result as you have seen before. So the next step is, as I explained, which is I'm going to create a function to respond to this click event of the button connect. So here we use the property on press, and you point it to a function that will be created instantly, and the name of the function will be connect. So here we create the function, the arrow function, like this, connect, and first thing in this function will be the URL that we will use in order to connect to the server. Normally we expect to put something like this one, as we have put it in the web browser for testing. It will be localhost with the port 8080 and the service name, which is currently welcome, right? But unfortunately we cannot use a localhost directly to the emulator. So this will work for the web browser, but it will not work for the emulator. So you can have to change the localhost to the IP of your emulator. It depends upon the emulator. For example, if you use Memo Player, it will be one IP address. If you use another, it could be different. For Memo Player, you can use this IP address 10.0.2.2. Okay, I think it will be right for this URL. The next thing is that we are using the fetch command to connect to the server. The fetch command need the URL as a parameter, and then you can place the dent, and it will provide a response, kind of a response from the server, and you can do something later with this response. And also it will return something like a promise that you're gonna have to try to extract the value from the response and then catch the error. Okay, so we will try to complete it part by part. The first part is that we have to check whether the response from the server is okay or not, and normally to do that we just check what we call the response code or response.status. If the server generally return the number which is okay, and that number is represented by the value 200. So if response status is 200, it means that the server respond okay, no problem at all. So it means that you can extract the response text and then use it. So we are going to just return the response.text, and this response.text will be like a process that will return something later, and that thing will be the response from your web server, which here if you come back to the app.js that respond, the text will be this message: welcome to my web server. And of course there will be case of error, possible errors too, so we can use the else condition to throw new error, and you can put any error message you want. Something's wrong. Okay, just only the example. So by using the fetch command, it will return a response, and the response could be either the good case, no problem, or the bad case, some problem happen. So if everything is fine, this function return response.text will try to extract the text from the response from the server. So this process could take time, so you're gonna have to use .then again to extract this response text from this response.text command, and this one will be also an arrow function that you can use it to do something, the response text. So here, as I have already explained, the response text will be the real text replying back from the server. So the objective of our application is simple. We would like to change the message here, click connect the server to the response text. So the thing that we are going to do is to set state, to change the state variable that now is linking to this text to the response text variable instead. So we set this state like a response to our response text. So this is in the good case, which is everything is fine, and also the last case is the case when there are some error happen and we throw the error here. So we are going to cache it by using the cache command, and if there are some error, we just do something by just maybe like a console the error, this error message, so we can know that there are some connection errors happen in our side, but of course the user will not exactly see this result. Okay, so this is just only the simplest command to connect to the server, and just use the return response text to replace the existing text here. Okay, let's see the output. Okay, so after the application restart, here we click connect, and now you will see that we get the message from the server: welcome to my web server. So if you find any error or anything wrong, so please make sure that firstly the server is starting by moving back to this window containing the app.js, and check that the server is still running at the port here like a 8080, and also the code from the mobile code is something like this one. There is no wrong typing, misspelling, and so on. The next thing that we are going to modify is sometimes you may feel that this kind of fetching command is like seem to be a little bit complicated. You can rewrite it again to be something like a shorter and more understandable. So I will delete everything here and rewrite the fetch command. The thing that I'm going to do is to place our fetch command here by using the keyword, the JavaScript keyword async and await, and it will be something like this one. Firstly, we provide a try catch structure because we know that there could be some possible error from connecting to the server. So the type hash will be in this structure, and in the try part we are of course going to connect to the server. So that's why we are going to use this command, something like response equal to fetch, and fetch to that URL. It means that we try to connect to the server using the fetch command and then return the response to this variable. However, if you use this kind of format, you must tell that the connection is in asynchronous mode. And to do that in JavaScript, you firstly gonna have to put the keyword await here to tell the code that this command will be asynchronous. Asynchronous here means that this process could take quite a time, so let it run parallelly with another or other processes and do not block the existing process. And if you have the await here for this fetch command in the connect part or before the parenthesis of this arrow function, you have to provide the pair keyword of the await, which is async. Okay, something like that. Okay, await and async. And after you getting the response, you could check it by using the same command. Is if response.status is something like a 200, it will be okay. So now we are checking whether it is something else which is not 200 or not, and this case will be the wrong case. So the thing that we must do is throw new, of course, error like the previous one. Something is wrong. Okay, and of course this error will be thrown to this cache part, so you can cache the error here and then just be show alert message or log like the previously done. But if you really want the user to know also that the connection has something wrong, the connection is not complete, I recommend to tell the user by like a simple method using the alert class here, and then just alert it like this. And any message you want, maybe like the same one that you would like to show to your user, which is the error.message, like that. Okay, so this is for the error case. And of course, if everything went fine, it means that we will try to do something like showing the message to the application, the response message to the application, to the title here. So the thing that we will do next is to create another variable which is response text, and this response text will be the answer from the server, the text answer from the server. And like the previous coding, we really want to extract this one from the response variable here. So to do that, we can use the function response.text like that. Sorry, the text like this. And this command response.text is also should be like a asynchronous process. So because it could take times, so you really need to make it asynchronous by placing the command await in front of this response.text. And of course this one you run parallelly or asynchronously with another process, so it will not block other processes. So finally, if the conversion of the extraction of the text from the response from the server is going well, there is no problem at all, you can now finally set the state of the variable that you want. like response here. Be careful, it is the response state variable here, and the one that we are going to replace it is the response text here. So set the state to the new response text value, and that will be all for the new writing style. Let's test it. So after saving this one, waiting for the refreshing, click connect, and you will see that we get the same result as the previous code.